Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to another Gary Williams Stole My Lawn Furniture show. We're missing our third wheel right now. We're not really sure what's going on with him. He's got a power outage going on in Baltimore, so I don't know if there's storms around there at the moment or what, but he's trying to get that figured out. And so we're gonna truck on since we're already late as usual, fashionably.
Pretty classic move for the Gary Williams Stole My Lawn Furniture crew to be a little bit late. It seems like it's the going trend. I will say it is windy and rainy and shitty in Ocean City. I don't know what it looks like in Baltimore, but it's supposed to be like this pretty much all week with this hurricane coming up the coast. It is going to be it's going to be going offshore, it looks like. Thank God, knock on wood. We're going to knock on wood that we don't get hit by it, but it's going to create some big problems with the tides and the waves and all that stuff. So we'll see what ends up happening with that.
Big announcement.
What's the big announcement?
Big announcement.
Is it Quackers?
Quackers didn't get a single vote.
Is it Gordon Bombay?
That was second. That came in second.
My suggestion, and I didn't vote for it.
Yeah, but Quacks and Holiday it is. I'm going to put the final results up here in a second. But yeah, Quacks and Holiday, and I think in honor, we got to do one.
I have a vodka lemonade here, but it's pretty stiff. I'm not going to be chugging it. So
that's what she said.
Yeah, that is what she said. Anyway,
that's what she said.
Was a really, really good weekend to be an O's fan. We saw a couple of the young guys come up and get some action while Brooks is
Cheers, Quaxon.
Old Quaxon Holiday. Quaxon Holiday had an offer last night. The Brooks and Dusty show, yeah, that's not what we need. That's just not what we need. Mr. Gary Duck or Mr. Gary Duck. I don't really know what Joe was trying to get at there. Where's Brian? There's a power outage in Baltimore. He texted us like 20 minutes ago that he was trying to figure that out. He'll be on shortly, but we couldn't wait any longer. We wanted to get on air and get to you guys because we're always late. And you guys.
Speaking of the Brooks and Dustin show, I was at LIV this weekend, and the first grouping that I came to was Dustin Johnson and Brooks Koepka and Louis Oosthuizen, and I'm like, oh shit. Like we were walking in and we're like, let's go see Brooks and Dustin. I'm like, that sounds weird. That sounds so weird.
That does sound weird.
It's awesome. First of all, it's weird saying my own name just because growing up, I didn't really meet another Brooks my entire life. And now you see it a lot more, I feel like. Mm-hmm. So whenever I say Brooks, it just feels weird. And then when I say Brooks and Dustin or Brooks, we wouldn't call Dustin Johnson Dusty. But when I say Brooks and Dustin, I'm like, that sounds weird coming out of my mouth. I don't know.
Brooks and Dunstan? Yeah, I like that. We like Brooks and Dunn over here.
Also, what about I saw some of the comments about Pigtown. What's going on with Pigtown? If somebody could elaborate in the chat. I was trying to, as soon as I saw you guys put that on there, I was trying to look up to see what was going on. I see AJ. So I'm assuming something with Adam Jones, but if you guys could let us know, we'd love to give you a shout out, Pigtown.
Yeah. Got a nice show for you guys today. We're going to, like I said before, talk about Basallo and Beavers and talk about the Orioles and their pretty good weekend that they've had and their good Monday night last night, obviously against Dustin May. We're also going to be talking about the BMW Championship. Brooks is going to give us a little bit of inside information on how it was at LIV Indianapolis this past weekend. He was there. John Rahm clinched the season-long championship for LIV, got an $18 million bonus and dumped a bunch of milk on himself like he was Kurt Angle. And then we also have our division previews are going to continue today. As I alluded to last week, we're going to be knocking out both of the South divisions because we are one show short of being able to do one division per show on the way to the season start. And we both agreed, all three of us have agreed that the South divisions are the least interesting divisions, the ones we don't need to talk about quite as much. So we're going to just do both of them and knock them out and get them over with. And then we can focus on one specific division each show moving forward. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We'll start with the LIV stuff. Brooks, how was the LIV tournament? How close did you get to the guys? How many stars were you able to see? Were you able to move around pretty freely? How did the whole experience go for you?
It was awesome. So this was their highest attended US event ever. And by the second day, they had already announced that they're coming back next year.
Same
Um,
course?
Same course, Chatham Hills, which is in Westfield, which is like the town or whatever you want to call it above us, just north of us. It's like 15 minutes from here to Chatham Hills. So it was awesome. We had a great time. It was it was hot as shit, man. There was a ton of people just like passing out on the course just because it was so hot and humid, and they had
Really?
they called it obviously hydration stations like all over.
Ooh.
You could bring your own like water bottles and stuff like that and refill them. But we found, if you didn't watch Thursday's show, me and Dustin and Brian went over like the map and tried to figure out where the best spot would be for us to kind of like set up, since you don't really need to like, I don't know, you don't need to follow these guys around. Some people get kind of hung up on that, but I just wanted to see everybody. But we took your suggestion and went right in between 13 and 14. So we got to see the 13th green, and then 14 was a par 3. We got to see him tee off from there. And we chose that because we walked a little bit and we found that it had a bunch of shade and trees and stuff like that. So that was awesome. And then there was a concession stand right there, or beverage bar station right there. And the bartenders were awesome. Obviously it's always like, for most sporting events, they'll only let you get like 2 alcoholic beverages per person to carry away with you, unless you have like the other people there. They were awesome. They were just like, hey, put it in your pocket, grab the other ones. And,
Oh yeah, love that.
Super,
Well, they're
they
all
got it.
volunteers. They don't care, right?
They understood, you know.
Yeah,
And then some of the greens guys, like the quiet please greens guys, they were giving out, they gave us some free stuff. They gave us a free hat. They gave us a free, I don't even know what to call it. It's it's like a bag. The best thing I can like describe it as, like a fanny pack, or like almost like a women's like makeup bag kind of deal, like a zip thing. I don't even know how to,
hmm
like, a better way to describe it, but they did it right. Like, there's music playing the whole time, but it wasn't like overly loud. Like I kind of thought it might be. Um, it was like there's a party hole, right? Obviously, like that's their whole shtick, and you
hmm
probably saw on social media this weekend when Terrell Hatton came up
Yeah,
on Saturday or Sunday. They played "I'm a Little Teapot," which I
yeah,
thought was hysterical, and then
yeah. I saw the
all the
video.
golf,
It's really funny. Yeah,
and he was laughing too, which I
yeah.
appreciate.
He
But
couldn't get over the ball. He was slapping too
he had to
hard.
pull, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he had to back away. But like all the golf purists were all up in arms about it. But I mean, that's fun, right? I mean, we need to. This is what opens it up to people who are not like the golf purists, right? It doesn't need to be. You need to grow the game and keep getting eyes on it. Is it for everybody? No. But I enjoyed it. It was much more laid back. Like everybody wasn't so uptight. Um, and like I said, there's music going on every single hole, but it's not like overly loud or anything like that. So, and you're still going to be quiet when people are putting and shooting and stuff like that. So you
hmm
get some jackasses who aren't, but that's every event, I feel like. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I had a great time. Prices were high, your standard concession prices.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, we paid, I think it was for general admission, we paid like $57.
No,
And
that's not bad
then,
at all.
if you want to, and just having general admission gets you into the concert on Friday, who was Riley Green, who I really like. But we paid an extra like $22 to get zone A, to get closer to the stage. I mean, it was, you couldn't beat it. 12, if you're 12 and under, you get a free general admission pass to go to the event. It was awesome. The only thing I'll be a stickler about, which it's not even Liv's fault. I think it's the town of Westfield's fault, was the parking. You had to park down by Grand Park, which is like a Ripken complex on steroids. It's much bigger. Like everybody, like basically in the Midwest, if you have like big tournaments here for any sport, you go there. The Colts have their training camp there. The Pacers have like a rehab facility there. Some of the Indy car drivers are moving some of their facilities there. It's just ridiculously huge. But there's an open field, like a huge open field with nothing. It hasn't been developed yet. It will be eventually. But they were parking everybody there. But if you've never been here before, Dustin has. It's right near West Fork, Dustin, which is a bourbon distillery here in Indiana, which is right next to Grand Park. It's like a one lane. It's a 2-lane road, one lane each way, and it's one entrance into this parking lot, and it's like 3 different ways of people. Like some people coming from the west side, some people coming from the east side of the entrance, and some people coming through Grand Park actually. And it just like it took like 35-40 minutes to get into the parking lot, and then you had to catch the shuttle up. But I mean, they had like 12 shuttles, actually probably more than that, but 12 shuttles like loading up people going. There's probably 24 total because there's probably they were running constantly. So
Sounds
really
like
the
going
only
to a game at FedEx Field. There's one way in
yeah.
and one way out, and you're gonna wait.
Yeah, and the way out was kind of nice because not everybody, well, most people didn't go to stay for the concert afterwards because it was so freaking hot. That when we got back to the car, like 3/4 of the parking lot was gone. So we flew right at, like we didn't have to wait for anything. But like I said, on the way in, if you're having a couple beverages on the way in, like some people like to do, I wouldn't say I was. If you're sitting there for 35-40 minutes, you're eventually going to have to pee. So I had a Gatorade on the way up there. Naturally, we called it Gatorade, which is, if you don't know, the perfect bottle to pee into.
Oh my God, Brooks!
Because it's a
We
wide
are
mouth.
live on the internet, dude.
I don't care.
What are you
So
talking about?
I peed while I was driving, really just waiting in traffic in park into a Gatorade bottle. So
Oh my God.
that was the only holdup, is getting into there and having to pee. So, and
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Joe Radke, Riley Green is my man crush, and he should be yours as well.
Brooks ain't leaving that man crush concert. Oh man. Well, that's awesome. Good for John Rahm, who took the season-long title. Actually, it was 0 wins on the season. I was surprised to see. I know he has like 4 or 5 runner-ups. I know Joaquin Niemann won 4 or 5 tournaments this year, right?
5 times, and that was like one of the biggest sticking points with a lot of people on the internet and me as well. There's no way you should win. I mean, Joaquin Niemann must have been so bad in those other tournaments, or John Rahm must have finished between 2nd and 4th in all these in every single tournament to be.
I think he finished inside the top 15 in every single tournament of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
So they probably need that.
He was like Harris English it.
They need to change the point structure then, because there's no way you should win 5 tournaments and he should not win one, and you should win.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't really know how the structure works. I haven't paid all that much attention to it, but I will say, being a longtime PGA Tour fan, that it's taken them a really long time to figure this out too, with the season-long point structure. And I don't really honestly even know if they figured it out at this point. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. Scotty, who's the best player in the world by a country mile, who we'll talk about, has been visibly frustrated for years and years about the structure of the playoffs and the payouts for season-long stuff. If you've watched golf at all this year, you know that Scotty should be getting all of the money for season-long anything, regardless of how this week goes. But
it seems like they're getting pretty close with it, because this year it seems like everyone's like, all right, this is starting to make a little bit more sense with like the 3-round playoff, and like we're starting to eliminate people based on different stuff. Like it feels like they're getting closer. I don't think it's right yet, but it feels like they're getting closer.
We just need to turn this last week. This week, it's just got to be a bracket style freaking match play tournament.
There's an opportunity.
Top 6, 8 golfers, however many you want to do, get buys. Maybe Scotty and Rory, who are the top 2, get double buys or something like that. Make it worth their while for being so consistently good throughout the season. But God, I think it would be so electric for a potential, Rory Scotty showdown, or Scotty versus some up and comer, or even just like JJ Spawn or some other guy like that, because Scotty would be there in the end. But I know for sponsorship purposes, they want to make sure that all of the guys, all of the best golfers in the world, are going to be on television so people watch it the whole weekend. I think it would be a lot more entertaining, and long term it would do good things for golf. But It's neither here nor there. I am not in charge. I'm not making these decisions. So, anyway, we'll lean into the golf talk right now and just continue with it because Scotty Scheffler, once again, has won another golf tournament, a massive one. And he did it this week without his caddy. He had Michael Cromie on the bag, who is Chris Kirk's caddy. Teddy Scott apparently has family issues. They're being pretty quiet about what it is. And good for them for being respectful to his family. Good for Scotty for not coming out and saying and respecting his privacy. I think they have a really great relationship off the golf course too. So he said he's unsure if he's going to be back on the bag this weekend in Eastlake, which is in Atlanta for the Tour Championship. But it seems like it doesn't really matter for Scotty because he's just going to completely dominate every golf course he plays, no matter what. Unfortunate Sunday for Robert McIntyre. Bobby Mack's one of my favorite golfers on tour and just could not get it going on Sunday. I think he was at one point, it was like 4 over through 9 holes, but he still had a chance to win this thing basically down to the 17th hole. As soon as Scotty hit that flop shot that went in on 17, it was over.
I mean, he couldn't stay. He couldn't stay as hot as he was the first day putting. I mean,
that's true, but I mean, he just.
But he let it go regardless.
Yeah, he was fighting for pars on that last day, and if he shot even par on the last day, he would have won because he started that tournament or that last round of that tournament, I believe, at 16, and Scotty won at 15.
That's what makes it so frustrating. I mean, that's why he was so pissed, right? I mean, all he had to do was shoot even. I say all he had to do was shoot even par, but for those guys, that should be a standard.
Yeah,
and he's sitting there like, okay, I didn't even have to like press and make a run at this. I just had to stay par all the way through. So I can see why he was so pissed.
Look, it's just he played with Scotty for the second day in a row because they had played together on Saturday, and he played well on Saturday, but I'm sure he was starting to get a little bit of those nerves coming in. And also, I mean, if you're playing against Scotty, you just know he's going to go out there and shoot 66, 67 at the bare minimum. So, like, he's probably telling himself, like, all right, I just got to shoot like 200 or 300 today. I'll be good. I don't have to go crazy and make 8 straight birdies or whatever like he did on the first day. But he just didn't seem like he had it with the irons. It seemed like he was kind of off all day, just a couple yards off. But you're right with the putter. The putter just couldn't stay as hot. Nobody else really made a run at this. Maverick McNeely had an outside shot. Sam Burns had an outside shot on Sunday, but it was pretty much a 2-man race as far as this tournament goes for the most part. And Scotty proved to be what we think and what we know at this point. And he's the best golfer on the planet right now. And now we get to go to Eastlake and see the 30 best golfers this year play. Sad for Ricky Fowler.
Did you see where he stayed this week while we're on Scotty Scheffler?
I did see that. He stayed at Pat Kelly's parents' house, right? At the Kelly house?
Yeah, the Kelly house. Him and Sam Burns stay at the Kelly house. That's kind of cool.
That's cool. For those of you who don't know, the Kellys are like one of the biggest families in the Calvert Hall stratosphere. So, no, I know a couple of Kellys. I was a homeroom runner with Pat Kelly, who played lacrosse at North Carolina. But yeah, anyway, really cool tournament. It was really cool that it was in Baltimore. I know a lot of friends that were there on Sunday. Got to see that Scotty chip on 17. That was electric. It sounded like 17 was kind of like a party, like a little bit of a party hole, not like Waste Management 16, but it seemed pretty loud there. It seemed like a lot of people were kind of camping there and drinking beers. And if you know anything about our Baltimore folks, they like to have their beers on Sundays, especially when they're at sporting events. So,
how do you think Baltimore and Cays Valley showed out for this?
I think it was great. I think it played well on TV. I think the course looks great on TV. I love that it wasn't a birdie fest like it was last time. Last time it was 28 under were the leaders. This time Scotty won at 15 and everyone was kind of hanging around. You know, like the guys who were shooting -5 were coming in top 20. It seemed like the course was a lot more difficult. Held up well, and I mean those are scores you expect to see on a PGA Tour event. -15 winning. You know, somewhere around -10 being like the top 5 cutoff. That's what I've come to expect. And I watch a lot of PGA Tour. So I liked it. I thought the course looked beautiful. I thought it was penalizing in the right spots. I thought the crowd sounded great, especially on Sunday. I didn't get to watch it with volume a ton the rest of the week because I was at work all weekend, but Yeah, I thought it was great. If we have any friends listening that were there, um, let us know how it showed out in person, because I think on TV it was great. Did you get to watch it
Yeah,
all?
I'd love to see it too. I mean, I know Drew, one of our guys that shows up here every once in a while. He was on hole, what was he on, 13? Um wherever the trophy club was. So he was there Saturday, so he got to see Akshay Bhatia's hole in one, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um we gave him a bunch of shit for it, um but yeah, I mean, I didn't get I mean, I was at Live on Friday. Saturday was when you got kids, it's kind of hard to sit down and watch golf, right? You got to have
Yeah,
something on the
for
TV
sure.
to either on the TV to entertain them or you're going somewhere to entertain them. And if you know anything about my kid, he doesn't sit still. It's kind of like myself actually. But yeah, everything I saw a ton of highlights. I was in and out of it, but yeah, it looked awesome. I saw that did they commit to go back there for something or I thought I saw something where Caves Valley was going to get something
I
else soon
I
too.
think they said they're going to be playing Caves Valley for the
For
next couple of
something else,
years. Caves
right?
Valley.
Or is it going to be for the BMW for the next couple of years? Or maybe
Hold
it
on.
was 2028. Maybe I saw 2028.
I'm not sure. I did hear something about them signing
Yeah, I saw it somewhere. But yeah, Ryan is an asshole for not getting Dusty media passes. He probably still wouldn't have drove all the way up there, but
I would have considered it.
I would have looked into it.
I would have looked into it. I would have gone on Waze and see how long it would take me to get to
Yeah,
Owings Mills from here.
if those guys weren't there,
Yeah.
I don't think we were gonna go either.
But anyway, we've talked enough golf to start the program. We got to get into this Orioles weekend that we just had. Samuel Basallo is an Oriole. Dylan Beavers is an Oriole, and both of them showing out pretty well in their first couple games. I believe Beavers had at least one hit in every game he's played, and Basallo as well. He's only played two, and he hit that double off the top of the monster last night. Beavers has been continually producing in the last. I mean, he's only been up for what 3 or 4 days, but they look good. The kids look good. I'm really excited about this new crop of talent we've got in here. And if Dean Kramer and Trevor Rogers still are going to start pitching like they're Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola, then I don't know. I think we got a pretty formidable team going right now. We are, I
We're
believe, 10 games above 500 since I can't remember the date. Is it June 1st?
probably June 1st. Yeah.
I think it's June 1st. I think one of the five best records in baseball. We're honestly pretty hot for a team that we lost a lot of pieces at the deadline. We lost a lot of pieces to injury, especially on the pitching staff. But we're kind of creeping our way back up the leaderboard. I don't think it's going to be a little too little too late, in my opinion. But you can never count anyone out. There's still plenty of ball to play. And with some other teams fading in the American League, I think really anything's possible. But we're holding on to a very small sliver of hope. What did you see out of the young kids specifically, Brooks? Before we get into the pitching stuff that I know you are very adept at.
I mean, Basayo just looks like every time he he's impressive to watch, man. He gets his foot down. Like there are times where he doesn't, but he's kind of doing the Jackson Holiday thing where like he kind of gets his foot down and going. Like he's just barreling shit, man. He's just like, all right, I'm just looking for something I can put a barrel on. I don't care where it's at. I want to hit it hard somewhere because if I hit it hard somewhere, there's a chance it gets out.
Gives
Because
me
he's got
gives me
that much
James
power.
Wood gives me James Wood vibes with just the raw power and talent. Obviously, we'll see if it remains to be seen if he's going to be able to be that successful of a hitter. He just turned
Yeah.
21, I think, just a couple of days ago. So he's still
Yeah, and
a kid.
the league will adjust. The league will adjust. He's having some trouble, as most hitters in general do, with a good changeup. So I mean, the league's going to adjust to that, and I saw somebody mention, it might have been Jacob Kaltenmeyer or somebody else on Twitter. We're saying like Beavers just gives you that Kyle, like once you think Kyle Tucker's swing, you can't unsee Beavers' swing being the same. Because he's kind of got that half finish at the end, you know what I mean? I don't even know how to describe it better than that. But yeah, I mean, great showing so far. Yeah, both are so. Yep.
Yeah. I didn't
I
realize how
love.
big Beavers was either. Like
I didn't know he was
as a
6'5".
prospect, yeah, massive guy. I know Basallo was supposed to be a massive guy, and all the announcers were saying it like, "Holy crap, this is the first time we met this guy," and they were like shocked at how big both of the guys were, just how broad
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not Beavers. Basallo,
So
man, like he was like Zach saying, like he just. I don't even know like a better way. Like he's got like that wide swing. Like they were talking about how quick his hands are and how fast his bat is because it doesn't look like it's insanely fast, but then like the numbers show up and he's like, I think Ben McDonald and Kevin Brown were saying like he's like top 10 in the league and with like the fastest bat speeds, which is nuts. And I mean, he kind of does the same thing as Adley. He kind of keeps his hands like right there, and it's pretty simple. It's a simple move. Big young beaver.
yeah, big young.
I had the old bull because if his nickname is the Buffalo. For anybody who doesn't know watching, I know most of the guys in the chat right now do know that. But his nickname is El Buffalo, and the only thing I can think is like I've had the old bull. Now I want the young calf.
Well, if his name is El
And
Buffalo, he's gonna love that restaurant in Canton.
he might. He's gonna.
Anyway,
He's gonna have a great. Both of them, really, I should say. They're gonna have a great welcome into Baltimore when they get back after today.
Yeah. I love Gunner staying pretty quiet about the Trevor Story slide that looked pretty not great on television in slow motion, and then coming up the next at bat and just parking one dead center. That was really fun. I like that. Respond that way. Don't respond angrily. I thought that was great.
And I mean, not only that. I mean, that was some of the most. That was like the most talked about thing about him getting pissed off. He had that, and then he had the double down the line or the triple down the line. I guess I should say. Did they rule it a double with an error?
No, they called it a triple. They called it.
They did.
Triple. Yeah.
Just because he kind of misplayed it out there, but they were talking about that, but like he made some really hard plays look really easy yesterday as well.
Oh yeah, he was picking it at short really the whole weekend,
yeah,
but specifically yesterday.
He's kind of. I mean, he's been in his bag defensively here for a while. He's got one of the longest streaks in the league right now without an error. Knock on wood, but he's picking it right now. He looks good. He looked confident. Like
it was so frustrating. Remember, last year we talked about it so much. We were so frustrated on the podcast because we went through that like week or two stretch where he just made a fuck ton of errors, and we were just talking. And we were like, all the stuff looks good. It just seems like he's rushing. It doesn't seem like he feels comfortable. And now it looks a lot smoother, a lot more comfortable. And all the talent was always there. The arm strength was always there. The athleticism's always there. But you got to put it all together with the confidence and the timing, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like I don't know. When we were talking about it last year, it's like, man, he can make the spectacular play where like it's almost like when he doesn't have to think, like he makes the play. But when he's got a little bit of time and he just almost overthinks it at times or forgets who's running at times last year when he wasn't. Sometimes he was trying to move too fast and it's like, all right, you got the slowest guy in the league running down the line, or almost vice versa. Yep.
Almost like,
like vice versa. Right? Yeah, right. Just reactionary, right? But this year he looks so much more comfortable. And same thing with Jackson. Jackson has had some struggles from what I've seen with just some ball transfer stuff here in the last couple weeks. But I mean, I'm not that worried about it. That's just a little dropsy spell going on right now. Let's not hope it's not any kind of knob block thing going on, you know.
No,
but
don't even bring that name up. Not without Drew here, at least.
He's too he's too talented to ever let that happen. It's not on the throw side. It's literally just the transfer side.
Yeah.
So I've been really happy just because the fundamental baseball that we saw most of this year up until the last couple of weeks has been terrible. And it just seems like it's been even before the young guys got. I mean, I know we're going to talk about it. Like the energy has been different here the last couple of days since I've been called up, but even the last couple of weeks, um, last couple of weeks to a month, maybe it's been a lot better. There's still times where you're just like, that's a stupid play, boneheaded play. Like, what are we doing? But overall, fundamentally, it's been a lot better. So, I, I I'm happy about that because
Yeah.
that was what was pissing me off the most.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. The whole season, you were tweeting angrily, like, why are we giving people extra bases? Why aren't we hitting cutoff mans? Why aren't we doing the small, easy things that it takes to win baseball games? And even at the plate, not getting runners over. I mean, this has been a problem for over a year with this team, even last year's playoff team, not getting guys over, not hitting sac flies when we need to. I think that's just a general trend in baseball that maybe us as a little bit older guys are not used to. It's just, the game of baseball is changing. There's going to be a lot more strikeouts. I was watching, who was it? It was Cubs versus somebody a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. And the Cubs were down 2-1 in the eighth inning. They had second and third, no outs, and three straight dudes struck out. Nobody squared the bunt. Like, I just, like, what are you guys doing? It's so frustrating watching baseball. You need one run to tie it. It's the bottom of the eighth. You got second and third, no outs. I understand letting the first guy up there go up and swing, but anyway, it's frustrating. I think it's a league wide thing, but you're right. I do think the fundamentals have been a lot better, specifically defensively, and maybe that lends
I
its hand to
100%
the
agree with this pick down because Bobby Dickerson, and I agree. I think he was the
yeah.
best at this and teaching just like small fundamental things that like nobody really thinks about. I think you're spot on. I don't know where Bobby Dickerson is these days, if he's still in baseball, if he's under somebody else's coaching tree at the moment. I'm sure he's followed Buck to New York, and um, but I don't know where he's at now. I would love to have him back, man. Um, I mean, he's the one who got, like you said, he's in Philly. That makes sense. Um, but he's the one who got, I mean, he's the one who started like the whole. I know JJ Hardy was big on it, but it was him and Bobby Dickerson who were real big on making sure like tags were correct, our relays were fundamentally correct, um, just small things, how you receive balls, um, how you throw. Like for example, last night Luis Vasquez at third base when he took over, and he had that incredible. I mean, it was a really good play, deep third base, and like you don't have to get it there the entire way all the time. Like sometimes if like just if you can hop it 15 feet in front of the bag and make an easy pick for somebody instead of short hopping or whatever it is, like stupid stuff like that is just, and you work on that. It's not like you can say it to the and you can know that that's what you're supposed to do, but unless you're practicing it before a game during IO, getting some fielding some ground balls and stuff like that, like it's just different. I don't know, man. I couldn't agree with you more. You bringing up Bobby Dickerson because I loved watching some of the segments that they did with him during spring training and before games, like on mass and stuff like that. Because I was like, that is some of the stuff. I was like, that's genius. Like we all know it, but it's genius that he goes out there and he does it with like these all-star baseball players who like I hated doing some of that stuff when I was younger, but you watch them doing it and he breaks it down and makes it so simple. And he's just like, here, let's just, let's do 15, 20 of these. That's all you have to do. So, but it's been better. So let's, hopefully this is turning a little bit. Maybe Manzolino's that guy. I don't know. As much as everybody doesn't love Manzolino's press conferences and some of the stuff he says or does, like he kind of seems like he's kind of that guy too, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah. How about this pitching staff, though? Dean Kramer having a couple of the best outings of his career, really, in the last couple of starts that he had. I think he threw 115 pitches the other night. And then Trevor Rogers just continuing to mow people down. Um, absolutely love what I saw from him. I think he had 7 strikeouts. He only had like 50 pitches in like the 5th or 6th inning as
His
of
changeup looks nasty, man. His
yesterday.
changeup's
He
been on all year.
stuff just looks so much better, so much crisper. It looks like it's coming out. It looked like it's 92, 93. It looks like it's coming in at like 95, 96. It's just, I love watching him pitch. I love what Dean's been doing. What can you say about those two guys in particular in the rotation?
Dean, I mean, I'll start with Rogers just because, I mean, I don't know if he's qualified now or not. But he's got the best everything since he's come back at this point
So
above.
he of the guys who have pitched 60 plus innings, he's got a 1.43 ERA. That's the best by a country mile.
Yeah.
And that's a small sample size in comparison to a lot of the other guys, but he's been
and
really great.
And I don't think it's necessarily like his stuff is a ton crisper. His command is so much better, and I think that has a lot to do with his confidence. And he's talked about it. He's doing like the sports psychology stuff apparently, because his velo is, I mean, it's a little bit better, and then at times it's kind of like where it was last year between like 91, 92, top in 93, and we saw when he first came back he was running up 94, 95 at times. But he's kind of back to that 92-ish is kind of his sweet spot. Like he's just commanding the ball, and he's doing what he wants to do with the ball right now. In terms of like, I think he had this stuff. I just think he was missing locations, and he tunnels the ball. Like I was kind of watching him a little closer last night. Every single pitch that comes out of his hand, like he's very whippy with like his arms. He's very like elbows and shoulders, like, you know what I mean? Like he's very whippy with his arm and stuff, like it all kind of comes out the same. It all looks very similar because it's coming out of that same tunnel that you see Pitching Ninja talk about all the time. It looks exactly the same when he releases it, and it's like, all right, is it going to be a fastball at 92, 93? Is it going to dive at 80 whatever with this changeup, or is he going to throw that slider? Like you're kind of guessing at that point, and when that changeup's coming, it's looking exactly like a fastball. And he kind of throws it. He throws it kind of weird when I was looking at his grip, which is super interesting. But yeah, it's he throws it a little harder, I think, when I was watching. But yeah, it's super interesting. Because this stuff, like I said, I think it was always there. But like when he's throwing that little changeup on the outside corner that's dropping and it's landing a couple inches below the zone, and you're getting people swinging over everything. It looks good, man. He's just commanding the strike zone like I haven't seen him do in, I mean, ever. And Dino, I actually think that Dino doesn't have his best stuff at the moment, and he's still battling and having great starts. Switching up his mechanics a little bit recently, higher leg kick, slightly higher arm angle, he's a splitter guy, so usually splitter guys and higher arm angle is kind of what you want. Spin rate is actually lower, but command has gotten better. On what? Spin rate is lower on a splitter, maybe, because I mean you kind of want that to be a little lower at times on the splitter.
Yeah, you kind of want it to dead dive, right?
Yeah, it also depends on what kind of splitter you throw. But regardless, I don't think he's had his best stuff at times during this stretch, and he's just getting by, like in terms of like command wise and like and everything like that. But yeah, it's really interesting. The guys, I think since June 1st, I saw we have like the number 2 starting pitching staff in the league behind. It's going to bug me. I literally looked at it last night.
Yeah. For the season, Dino is 9-9 with a 3.97. Just to put that in perspective, that's over 25 starts. In his last 15 starts, so 60% of the season, he's a 6-4 with a 3.04 ERA with a 1.11 WHIP. In his last 7 starts, He's got a 2.74 with a 0.98 whip. So just getting better and better throughout the season. He did have a really, really rough start to this year. But so
Which
did
is
the
kind
whole
of his
Orioles
MO.
team, right?
It's his
Didn't the whole
MO.
Orioles
Like,
team go that way?
yeah, it's his MO. And it's always like where I've seen people saying, maybe he just sits out April. I think it's literally like April. I think he needs to start throwing sooner. I think
There's a
I
lot of
think he
guys like
kind of
this now, though. Like we saw this with Tony Taters. We see this with
Mhm.
Juan Soto every year. Juan Soto comes out and he's terrible in April, and then he's just like MVP candidate for the rest of the year.
Like maybe we start working a little sooner just to like it just seems like he finds his footing, and I don't know if it's like getting a feel for his pitches, if he's finally like the confidence is there. I don't know what it is. Does he start a little bit sooner, or does it like I just don't see it being anything having to do with like mentally or like weather wise or anything like that. I just think I don't know. I maybe we start a little bit sooner with him. But he knows it. He knows himself better than me. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a
but
dog. That's for sure. That's what I'll say about him, regardless of whether he's pitching well or not. He's a dog. He'll go out there and
he's gonna
compete
battle for
for
you no
sure.
matter what, even if he's
Yeah.
getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, he goes out there and competes, and that's what I really love about the guy. And really, I mean, let's call a spade here. Dean Kramer, if he's in your rotation, you're expecting him to be probably a back end of the rotation guy, and I think he's got a chance to be a very good version of that. I don't think you want him being your number 1 or 2 on your team, but if he's your number 3 or 4, you feeling pretty good, especially if he's pitching like he has the last couple outings. The problem is he's a little bit inconsistent, but once again, he's a dog, and we really like him. And I hope he continues to pitch for the Orioles because at the very least, he eats innings.
Yeah.
So I think he'll have a long career based on the
Worst
fact
trade
that
of all
he's able to
time
do that.
still.
The Trevor Rogers one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep bringing it up because that was
Yeah,
some
worst trade of all
ridiculous
time.
shit.
Yeah. It'll never be good.
And again, I'm gonna say this again. Do I expect Trevor Rogers to do this like next year or for the
Do we
rest
think
of
he's
his
going to win the
career?
Cy Young next year? No. But
Right, like
yeah. But
it's
do you expect Kyle Stowers to win the MVP on the fucking Marlins next year? No.
exactly. So there's Kyle Stowers, I was listening to somebody or reading something like Kyle Stowers was not even like like who was headlining that trade. It was Norby.
Yeah. Stowers was like
Um,
the number 20 prospect in the organization. He was much lower than Beavers and even some of the other guys we've seen here, Kauser, Kerstad.
yeah, which kind of goes back to my I defend Elias a lot, and I still do. Like again, we say it all the time. Do I agree with everything that he does? No. You're never going to do that with anybody. But like I'll defend him and trust him on a lot of stuff, and I'll say like, all right, let's wait and see. And we said this last year with Trevor Rogers, like, hey, we're not going to know until next year, right? And
Yeah.
he went and got. I mean, they were talking about hey, he was getting his lower half a lot stronger this offseason. Then he had the knee injury. He had this the same knee injury I had when I was in high school, and which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate with all the injuries we've had. And I know a lot of people like to say like injuries are not an excuse. It fucking is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it is. A lot of these injuries are not preventable. I would say most of them are not preventable. They're kind of just going to happen.
Sports.
It's sports. Are you going to expect to turn your ankle running around second base last night? Everyone's like, you see everybody on Twitter is going like, oh, he's made of glass. It's like, yeah, how is he going to prevent turning his ankle running around second base?
Yeah.
And
how is he going to prevent him made of glass? How is he going to prevent getting hit in the hand with a fastball and breaking his hand last year? You know what I mean? Like, what's he supposed to do about that? It's not
exactly. So there's a ton of stuff where I keep my mouth shut, but it's like, but anyway, back to a lot.
Do you keep your mouth shut?
For for much
Depends
more
on how
stuff
many
than
beers you've had. Yeah.
True. For a lot of stuff, I mean, I could be a lot more vocal about things, but yeah, it's going back to the Elias stuff. Like, how many of these guys that are we seeing in this lineup right now that we're all very excited about, right? That he drafted or brought in or saw something in. I mean, 7 of these guys that are in our lineup right now are homegrown guys. That's incredible. That you don't see that at any organization that I can think of off the top of my head. That should just barely happens, because a lot of times when you draft these guys or you have these high prospects, they just don't make it. They don't make it up to the big leagues, or they come up
Or
and
they
they
flame
suck.
out.
Or exactly. And you can say what you want about, like, all right, he's got to go get a big name free agent. He's got to be able to let go some of his prospects to trade for some arms. I get it, and I agree with you. But yeah, it's impressive, like, what he's done as just evaluating talent.
Also, just the people pick and choose what they want to say, right? So, like, at the beginning of the year, Kyle Stowers well outperformed what everybody expected, and Trevor Rogers was still hurt. We didn't get this. But also, people forget we traded Jorge Lopez, who was a nothing, for the rest of the year, for Yenier Cano and Cade Povich, who have been two of the most important pitchers on our team. Well, I mean, Yenier Cano at least. Povich has at least been like a serviceable starter for us. We traded basically nothing for Sir Anthony Dominguez and Gregory Soto, who are really good bullpen pieces for us, who fetched us stuff at the deadline this year that could help us potentially in the future. We traded Joey Ortiz and DL Hall to the Brewers for Corbin Burns. It turns out Corbin Burns was a rental, but he was, I think, top 5 in Cy Young voting for us last year. DL Hall has been basically a non-factor for the Brewers. He's basically not pitching at all. And Joey Ortiz has been like, okay. So, I mean, you can pick and choose some of that stuff. You also have to understand that he took Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson with the first 2 picks that he made as an Oriole GM. So, I mean, you can get angry at him for the one trade or for the couple trades that didn't work out. But for the most part, this guy has been a very positive influence on this team. And we see it with all the young talent. Yeah, like, look at Beavers, look at Samuel Basallo. These are all Elias guys. These are all Elias. If Elias isn't here, we don't have any of these guys.
And going back to it, Basallo is an international siding guy who we had zero presence with for a long time. Sugano's working out okay. I'm still not like the biggest Sugano fan in terms of all that, but he's giving us innings. He's eating them up. So it's there, man. Like, you're not going to hit on every single one, but his percentage is pretty damn good right now. And I think I read something where, like, the Yankees completely fumbled the whole Basallo thing. Like, the Yankees were supposed to have him, and we swooped in and took him.
I love that. I would hate him on the Yankees. That would suck.
Yeah, that would not be fun.
Although he would probably be catching and turning to Gary Sanchez.
Now, I mean, again, talking about stuff that I don't agree with. I said it right when it happened. Not a huge Gary Sanchez fan. I'm just not. I'm not a huge fan. Like, I was hoping we would have did more in the off season. I think the one that we missed on was Crochet. I would give him the most. Yeah, that you can give him the most hate on. And I agree with you, but it's I don't know what they were asking in return, right? Were they asking for Jackson or Basallo? Was I willing to give up one of those for him?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, based on what the Red Sox gave up, I can't imagine that's what they're asking for. But I mean, it could have been a Dylan Beavers. It could have been,
hard to say.
It could have been any number of guys. Jeremiah Jackson, the only one that's not an Elias guy. He was a waiver claim this offseason. Dude, this guy hits singles. Really, this guy just fucking hits.
Yeah,
I know
it's going back to that. But going back to that,
shit out of the ball right now.
Going back to that, Elias is the one that went and saw it and picked him up and made the waiver claim. I know it's not like somebody he drafted, but it's impressive. I don't know.
I think
this off season has to be the next step, right? I think it needs to be better than last off season. He's got to figure that out, and I think he will, because he's verbally said on some of his interviews that he's taken a lot of blame for it, which you got to respect a little bit. So I don't know,
man. Zach, Gary is a legend. He's an Oriole legend. You don't get to talk about him. Yeah.
No.
I had something to say. What did I have to say? Yeah, I think actually saw Pigtown tweet the other day, or maybe it was yesterday. He was like, "What if the Orioles go out and spend $700 million between Kyle Tucker and Framber Valdez this offseason? Would you still think they don't want to spend money?" Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty far-fetched thing to happen. There's no precedent for that in Orioles history, but we do have new ownership, so we'll see if they're willing to spend like that. And also we'll see if those guys want to come to Baltimore, because that was a big problem with Corbin Burns. We wanted him back here, and he didn't want to come. He
And
wanted
we made
to
a
go
strong
back to
offer.
Arizona.
Apparently, we made a strong offer.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say like indefinitely. I didn't see the paperwork or the offer made, but from reports
say that we made a strong offer. So yeah, I mean, I think we'll make some strong offers this offseason. I think this season was a little bit of a wake-up call. I don't think we had the depth at starting pitching that we thought we did at the beginning of the year, because I mean, this is baseball. People get hurt, and we had just a very unlucky season when it comes to injuries, in specifically with the pitching staff. I think the offense is pretty much where it needs to be. I think we do need a couple of veteran bats and just guys in the locker room that are there.
I mean, we'll see.
If you could go get a vet that can come off the bench and maybe start in terms of, or in the place of somebody who's injured, stuff like that. That would be nice. But I think for the most part in the offseason, I'm going to be looking at the pitching staff. I think we need at least one big free agent signing pitching wise. I think we need to get really lucky with Grayson Rodriguez if he's going to be able to pitch at all. I just moving forward, I'm scared of the prospect of that. I don't know what's going to become of Zach Eflin. I think he's going to be kind of a weird case. I think if he would hit free agency last year, he would have gotten a lot of money based on his year this year, maybe be a little bit less, maybe be another 1 year prove it kind of deal, which he just seems like that kind of pitcher who's just going to get a bunch of those 1 year prove it deals, which is okay. I mean, there's guys like that in the league. When he's on, he's great, and he throws strikes and he pounds, and I love the way he pitches. But he's had a weird up and down year, so we'll see where it goes with him. We're of course expecting Kyle Bradish back next year, if not at the end of this year.
He's got one more start, one more rehab start.
Is that what's going on? And then what's going on with Tyler Wells? Do we know?
He's got Bradish has one more rehab start. Wells has 2. Suarez has 1 more, and then they're transitioning him into bullpen work. So I mean, there's guys coming. We'll see when they get here, if they get here. For some of them, Suarez might be. Who knows? I think Bradish will be up, but I mean, he's got 1 more start, and he'll be here. I don't see why they wouldn't bring him. And there's somebody else that I feel like I saw an update on that I can't remember who. I don't know. Mountie went 3 for 4 last night, though.
Yeah, for second 3-hit game of the year. This is pretty. I heard that and thought it was pretty weird, just because he, he's been a very consistent hitter. But he's been hurt a lot of this year too, so can't really blame him there. And also Ryan O'Hearn was getting a lot of starts alongside him and just in front of him when we were facing right-handed pitching, because Ryan O'Hearn hits the shit out of the ball. Also hit a home run for the Padres last night. Good for Ryan O'Hearn. A bunch of former Oriole greats doing a lot of good stuff in Padres uniforms. Manny Machado, Ryan O'Hearn, Ramon Laureano, all kinds of guys. But yeah, Orioles are 9.5 games back from the last wild card spot. They are 9 games below 500. And really, it was just a tale of a just completely disastrous first month and a half, 2 months, and then kind of got it back on track and been playing pretty above average baseball since then. Despite the,
the storyline was really Chas McCormick getting into the game to pitch against the Orioles
and throwing 11 pitches and getting a 3 up, 3 down. It's awesome.
I texted Ryan. Ryan's his brother and was my roommate in college and my second baseman. And I was like, hey man, Chaz the outmaker. Results don't lie. He's like, yeah, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do when you're getting your ass kicked. But yeah, Chaz is he's been dealing with some injuries here the last year and a half. So it's good to see him. I mean, good to see him hitting the ball a little bit better, but hopefully he can pick it up. I'm a little worried about him if he's going to
That's
stay.
his second relief appearance of the year, by the way. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
That was not his first pitching performance of the year. Kevin Brown was given all kinds of stats. He was saying he's a Millersville Marauder. He went to Westchester High. He was all PSAC or whatever. And he said he was the first person in his high school, in history of his high school, that had 100 runs scored, 100 hits and 1,000 points scored in basketball. He's the only person that's ever done that at his high school.
Yeah,
so
Ryan,
good for
Ryan
him.
was,
he must have been a point guard.
Yeah, Ryan was pretty good too. He was a point guard as well. Henderson High School, I think, is where they went.
Oh yeah, love that. Other news around the league as we transition off of the Orioles, and we're probably going to move into football here. Just to give you guys an update, Zach Wheeler has undergone surgery, I believe yesterday or maybe the day before, on a blood clot. His timeline is unclear whether he's going to return later in the season, if it's going to be a short stint. I don't really know how those things work. I guess it depends on the severity of the surgery he had to go through. But unfortunate for him, he had a chance potentially to take home his first Cy Young. He's been, I think, in the top 6 or 7 of Cy Young voting, like 4 or 5 of the last 6 years. Just a very, very consistent guy. Never really gotten over the hump and won the award, though. And he had a really good chance to win it this year. It was kind of him and Skeens and a few other guys. But it looks like he's probably out of that running. But hopefully for the Phillies' sake, they're going to get him back for the playoffs because he's invaluable to that team. He's just one of the most consistent guys in the league. He's really good. Kyle Tucker, who's on Brooks's Homer draft guy, who started the year scorching hot in this contract year, one of the best hitters in the league over the course of the last 5-7 years-ish, is going to be getting some days off to reset. He has been really struggling at the plate, hitting 180 over his last 30 games, hitting even worse, 080 in his last 7 games. So I guess manager Craig Counsell came out and said they're going to give him a couple days off to reset, maybe a series, get his head right, and maybe he'll come back firing. He's going to need to, because he is going to want a big contract this offseason, and teams are not going to want to see this kind of slump in the middle of your contract year if you're trying to get a big contract, especially a Juan Soto type contract. Do we think he's going to get that much money? No. But, we're thinking of $400 or $500 million player here based on the stuff that he's been able to do on the baseball field. So we'll see what happens with him. Vlad Jr. hurt his hammy. He is going to get an MRI. I think he's probably going to go on the IL, hopefully for the Blue Jays' sake. That's short term. The Blue Jays having an excellent season in first place.
Shane Bieber just came off the IL too.
Did he? Did he make a start yet? I saw he was making rehab starts.
I don't think so, but I think I saw that he's off the IL though.
Yeah,
I believe.
Another veteran guy for the Blue Jays. Other than that, don't have a ton of baseball news. We've talked a good amount of baseball, a good amount of Orioles. So now we are going to get into our football stuff. Like I said earlier in the show, we're going to be doing both of the South divisions today. We're going to preview them both because we don't think those divisions are going to be very good, and we needed to combine 2 of the divisions, and we just decided we were going to do both of the South divisions because they're kind of bad. Really, there's 1 or 2 good teams total of the 8. And a good way to segue into this is just before we started this podcast, the Indianapolis Colts announced that Daniel Jones is going to be their week 1 starter over Anthony Richardson, who was the number 4 overall pick for the Colts just a few years ago. Daniel Jones, you'll remember for his time in New York, had a short stint with the Vikings last year, but not QB, head coach Shane Steichen said he is not planning for this to be a short-term arrangement. He's the starting quarterback for the season. I don't want to have a short leash on him. We can read through the bullshit there a little bit. I don't know how true that is. Brooks, you live in Indianapolis. What's the general consensus on this quarterback debate in Indy, and just how are the Colts in general being perceived this year in Indy?
I don't think there's. I'm not 100% sure,
but
I mean, not anybody that I talk to at the moment, really. They just signed Xavier Howard too from Miami, which was hopefully a nice little upgrade for them. We'll see.
He's getting older though, isn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the feeling is here. I haven't talked to anybody about Colts football here recently, and I don't listen to the local radio shows. But I mean, people do love their Colts here. I think they're cautiously optimistic because they were, I don't know, their defense could be halfway decent. They got Taylor, so I don't know. I don't. The vibe just feels very indifferent.
Yeah. That's going to be the vibe of this whole South preview show today. Pretty indifferent because these teams are just not very good. Did I see the ketchup smoothie review on Sunday? No, I did not, Joe. How was it? Did it taste like ketchup? It can't be good. There's no way it's good. My Facebook feed is full of "I'm no longer a Colts fan," a bunch of laughing emojis, and the fired Ballard is back in full swing. Honestly, I don't know how that guy still has a fucking job. I just don't get it. I think he made the big swing on Richardson and he missed. At least it seems that way so far. And usually when you make that big swing as a GM, you lose your job because of it. But
I would say Colts fans probably want Richardson to have more of a shot here, but I mean, I don't know. Look, who would you start? I mean,
I don't hate this move. I don't like committing to Jones and say, but I mean, maybe that's what you have to do as a GM is commit to the player that you name the starter.
Yeah, I don't believe him for a second that they're committed to Jones.
Look, if they start Richardson and he has a bad first couple games, then it's over, right? It's just over. So, sit him, let Daniel Jones go in there and see what he can do. And if he can't do anything, then you can put Richardson in. And if he's bad, you can just be like, well, this team just isn't very good. And you can spin it in some other way and can maybe elongate his career a little bit further. I don't know, honestly.
And I don't know what's true on his health stuff either. Like I saw stuff during the offseason that he was having like shoulder stuff. I mean, his left hand with a dislocation is not a huge deal. Dislocated pinky against the Ravens, but
he got clobbered. Ojabo hit him hard. So I was watching that.
Unless he's just like not well respected in the locker room either. So I don't really know.
But you can see like the raw talent in some of the plays. Like he misses some of the easy throws, but then he can roll out left and hit somebody across on the right sideline 40 yards away, rolling left. And it's like the talent is there. It's just, can you put it together and can you string it together? I don't know. I feel like there's a part of me that says maybe he'd be better in just like a Taysom Hill type role. There's also a part of me that says he could be just like a Cam Newton type guy where they run the offense and they just run more often than they throw and give him more easy throws. It also feels just like he has the talent to do a lot of things. Will he put in the work, and is he going to be able to get consistent enough? I don't know. I think we've talked too much about the Colts already at this point.
And also on top of this, like every year we talk about like Daniel Jones can run a little bit, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So
many times. Yeah,
and we all know
over the yard lines, then he's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, is it that different? If he's doing that and not turning the ball over and not making stupid mistakes, like I guess they're kind of like banking on him just not making as many mistakes is kind of the way I would look at it, I guess.
Oh man. Can you imagine telling Colts fans a couple years ago that they'd have 2 top 10 quarterback picks in their locker room at the same time, and it was these 2 fucking clowns? Oh, you're not clowns. Sorry, guys. You're both bigger than me, and you can kick the shit out of me. All right. AFC South preview. Tennessee Titans are plus 650 to win the division. The Colts are third to last. They are, third from the front. They are plus 370. The Jags are plus 300, and the Houston Texans are plus 105. Just about even money for the Texans to win this division. Do we have any hopes for any of these teams? We'll go through the Titans real quick. They have a rookie quarterback, so a lot to be seen there. Don't really know much about just the organization in general. I know they have the former offensive coordinator for the Bengals, Callahan, I believe is his name, Brian Callahan. And then he has a dad who's the offensive line coach who's like legendary, who I can't remember his name. Bill Callahan, maybe that's his name. I don't know. I think it kind of depends on Cam Ward. Do I think they could have Commanders of last year, like Cam Ward is excellent and they can make a run kind of season? No, I don't think they're talented enough to do that. I don't think they have the skill guys to do that. I do like Calvin Ridley, but I can't really name any of the other guys on the team other than Pollard. I don't really know a ton about just the team in general. I think when they fired Mike Vrabel, they kind of gave themselves a death sentence, at least over the course of the next, 5-6 years. Do you have anything on the Titans? Do you care about them at all? Do you think they have any chance of being good this year?
Nope. I think they finished last.
Do you think they finished last in this division, which we believe is going to be a pretty bad division? We already talked about the Colts. I think, ceiling is probably like 8 wins. The quarterback scares me. I think Jonathan Taylor is an absolute stud. I think the receiving core is going to get a little healthier. I think Tyler Warren is really, really good too. So if either of these quarterbacks succeed, I think Tyler Warren is going to be a big part of that. Tyler Warren and Jonathan Taylor really should be the focal points of the offense. I'm kind of over the Michael Pittman hype at this point. I think Josh Downs is a fun young receiver, but I don't know how well he's going to be able to play with these guys throwing him the football. And then the defense is just a big question mark for me. I don't really love the defense.
Depends on if they're healthy or not.
Yeah. Jacksonville's the next team. Jacksonville's plus 300 to win this division. I can see this going so many different ways. I know Liam Cohen was like a whisperer last year in Tampa and made that offense run like it's never run before. But I mean, out of generational prospect Trevor Lawrence, I have seen almost nothing. I haven't seen him do very much stuff in the first 4 or 5 years of his contract that tells me that he is a generational type player. I know it's been a little tumultuous. Urban Meyer starting there, and he hasn't been dealt the best hand, but they do have a lot of weapons on offense at this point. Travis Etienne is another year in the league. He had a disappointing year last year, but he might be able to bounce back. Tank Bigsby is a guy I expect to take over the workload for Travis Etienne at some point this season. That guy was really good.
Well, he did last year, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And then when Etienne got healthy again, he took over. And I don't agree with that. I think Bigsby is the better runner. I think he gives you way more juice. And I think the Jaguars will see that. I love the weapons. Travis Hunter, first round pick, top number 2 overall pick. He can play offense, he can play defense. Brian Thomas Jr. was one of the most electric rookies in the league last year. I absolutely love what I saw out of him. I don't hate the offensive weapons, but the offensive line is ugly and the defense is ugly. And I don't like either of those two things. I think offensive line and defense are 2 very important things. And I don't think they have a good version of either of those. Do you have any thoughts on the Jags, Brooks?
No, I agree. I agree with you for most things. I think we've seen flashes out of Trevor Lawrence, right? He's not going to, like, we haven't seen the generational talent that you said, like, we haven't seen that yet. But we've seen flashes of it. We haven't seen it in over a year, probably. Because last year was rough, but I know he's dealt with some injury stuff too.
Yeah.
So I think it's possible for
25 years old, 25.
Yeah. I think it's possible for them to have a decent year, and to even possibly contend with
Houston.
But I think a lot of stuff needs to go right for them, and if their defense figures it out, and like you said, the offensive line is a huge question mark. So, it's but again, agreeing with you here, like their offensive weapons they've got a few guys.
Yeah.
It's just, can they get them the ball? Do they have
Mhm.
time to get them the ball? So we'll
But
see. They're a question mark for me. I could see them going either direction here because I could see them like putting together and beating some teams that they shouldn't beat, and I could also see them just losing to every team that's probably got a worse record than them just because
if
of
Yeah.
yeah.
If you told me they won 10 games, I believe you. If you told me they won 4 games, I believe you. And that's just kind of the team they are. And that's honestly, this is kind of the division this is. You can say more of the same about the next team. This team has probably got a chance to be better just because of the quarterback situation, but in the defense. And that's the Houston Texans. The CJ Stroud sophomore slump was a little bit rough to watch. But Stephon Diggs went out with a knee. Tank Dell went out with that gruesome injury in the back of the end zone. Can't remember what game that was, but I remember watching it and just thinking it was disgusting and it sucked. And also Nico
Mhm.
Collins missed a portion of the year last year too. They
Mhm.
also traded away Laramie Tunsil, but this is one of
Mhm.
the very best defensive units in the NFL, led by D'Amico Ryans, who's the head coach. I have a lot of confidence in this defense, whether it's Will Anderson, whether it's Daniil Hunter, whether it is some of those rookie or like very young corners that they have on the outside. I really like the look of the defense. I think I trust CJ Stroud more than I trust any quarterback in this division by a lot. I know Nico Collins is healthy. Tank Dell's probably going to miss some time, but they do have two younger receivers that they signed. And who else did they sign? They signed another receiver. But anyway, Joe Mixon's questionable for week 1, but they have Nick Chubb. They have a first round running back, or not a first round, a rookie running back. I think he was a 4th rounder named Woody Marks out of USC, who I like a lot down the board in fantasy this year. I think he could get a good amount of touches earlier in the season while Joe Mixon is potentially out. But once again, questions on the offensive line. They trade Laramie Tunsil. They trade Kenyon Green, who was their starting right guard last year. This was an offensive line that was already really bad last year. They traded their best player on the offensive line by a mile in Laramie Tunsil. They trade Kenyon Green, who was disappointing, but he was a starter. I just don't know really what the plan is here, offensive line wise. I don't like this team to make any kind of run in the playoffs, but the division that they're in kind of lends me to say that, I think they'll have a pretty decent season. What do you think about the Texans, Brooks?
Yeah, I agree. I think their defensive alone is going to keep them in games, and I think they got enough offensive talent to win the games. So,
Yeah.
um, and I think they're better than most of them, or if not all of them in that division. I think I'm picking them to win it until they're proven otherwise. Obviously, I don't know when. I'm sure Tank Dell is probably not going to play this year because it was later last year when he got hurt.
No, he's supposed to play. It's just I think he's going to be after that week 6. He's on the pup, so he's
He's on the
after that
pup,
week 6.
so
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe week 8, week 9 kind of thing.
So we'll see what other receivers they got
They
going
signed
on.
Christian Kirk in the offseason, by the way. That's who I forgot about.
Yeah. I'm not. I mean, I do kind of like their running back room. Obviously, Joe Mixon had a good year last year. I think Nick Chubb still has potential to be a good running back in this league, even though he's had injury stuff. So I just don't. Do I think they're the greatest team in the world? Like, do I think they'll win a game in the playoffs? No, but I don't. I don't see anybody else in that division
Yeah.
having a better record than them. So
Yeah, that's part of the reason we decided to do this this exercise is just we're going to do both of the Souths because there's just not much to say about these teams. The Houston Texans are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are 18th on the odds board for Super Bowl. They are 35-1 to win the Super Bowl, and that is the best in this division by a lot. The next closest team would be the Jags at 80-1. I wouldn't make either of those bets. Just saying, there's a severe lack of talent in this division in particular, and we'll talk about the next division also. But do you have a pick to win this division? You think Houston's the safest bet?
Houston's the safest bet if I'm going to make a choice to possibly make a run at this thing. I'd probably go Colts just because I think if their defense stays healthy, they can make a run at it. And I think we saw it from Daniel Jones a few years ago. Like is he going to go like crazy and win you games by himself? No, but I think he can help you hang around.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm doing a long shot pick, it's the Colts, but your safe pick is I'm taking Houston all day.
Just another little note, fantasy wise. Jonathan Taylor, I've done a lot of like best ball fantasy drafts. Jonathan Taylor is going towards the end of the second round, top of the third round. That dude had like 1,500 yards from scrimmage last year and a lot of touchdowns. And I think the offense is going to be very heavily reliant on him this year. I think he's going a lot further down the board than I expected him to. So if you're looking for like a late second round kind of steal, maybe you took a receiver in the first round and you don't love the running backs that are left, take Jonathan Taylor if he's left on the board, because the guy's going to get a ton of touches, and there's no other running backs on this team that are going to steal touches from him. That's for sure. So even if the offense isn't very efficient, just sheer volume, I think he's going to make him a good fantasy player. All right, moving on. I think it's time to move on to the NFC South. This division is a little bit more interesting to me. That the bottom two teams, not so much, but the top two teams are. The Saints, 15-1 to win the division. I don't know that I've ever seen odds quite that bad to win the division. That's not true, because I'm looking at odds worse for the Cleveland Browns right now. But anyway, the New Orleans Saints, 15-1 to win this division. I don't have a clue who their starting quarterback is. I think it's this dude Schuff. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think he's like a 4th round or 5th round rookie. I don't know why they didn't just take Sanders in the 4th round and start him. But whatever. Maybe they're just tanking for Arch Manning, and they're going to get the Archie legacy going on there. But this team is complete disaster. Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave are the only two guys on the team that are worth anything, as far as I'm concerned, offensively. And then defensively, Cam Jordan is much older. They traded Marshawn Lattimore last year to the Washington Commanders. Their identity is nothing. Their coach is Kellen Moore, who I have been very outspoken against. He has been the offensive coordinator for several different teams, and I don't think he has done a good job at any of those stops. The Eagles did win the Super Bowl last year, despite the fact that he was their offensive coordinator. And I say despite. Some people might give him the feather in the cap and say he was the offensive coordinator for the team who won the Super Bowl. But look, they were the best team by a country mile. They were the most well-equipped to win, and their defensive line would have won that Super Bowl even if they had me calling plays on offense. So it didn't really matter. Just hand the ball to Barkley and call it a day. I don't like Kellen Moore. I don't like this roster. I think this is going to be the worst team in the NFL, and I don't think it's going to be close. I think they might win 3 games. What do you think, Brooks?
Yeah, I got nothing. You summed it up. I mean, I got nothing to add. There's just nothing about this team that screams like they can win any games. Besides, like you said, Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Like unless they both go off in the same game, and that's about it. I don't know. Yeah. I Spencer Rattler, maybe he matures a little bit. Who knows?
They're 400-1 to win the Super Bowl. That is the worst odds of any team. That is behind the Titans, Jets, and Cleveland Browns. That's bad. Chris Olave is working on returning after, I believe, he had his 5th concussion last year. If he has a couple more of those, he might be done playing football for the foreseeable future. Alvin Kamara is definitely a Ring of Honor Saints Hall of Famer kind of guy. One of the better Saints we've seen, it's especially in my lifetime for sure. But definitely he's not going to be winning them games by himself. So I'm not worried about the Saints at all in this division. I am a little bit more optimistic about the Carolina Panthers, who are the next team in the odds here as Brooks is off screen. The Carolina Panthers had a decent renaissance to the end of their last season. Bryce Young, who was benched and looked like he was dead in the water, came out and played pretty decent over the course of the last 4 or 5 games. They are going into their 2nd year under Coach Dave Canales. It looks like he's moving the needle a little bit forward. They drafted Tet McMillan, I believe Arizona State, number 5 overall. Big time receiver, the first receiver taken outside of Travis Hunter in the draft this year. Who is a 2-way player. so it doesn't really count. The first true one or the first true wide receiver. We'll see what happens with Bryce Young. They've really invested heavily in their offensive line with the draft picks over the course of the last few years. I don't really know a ton about the other weapons on the team. Xavier Legette going into his second year. Can't really understand what he's saying when he talks, but he's a freak athlete. Adam Thielen going into the twilight of his career, or been in the twilight of his career, had a really interesting year last year. Was kind of productive fantasy wise out of nowhere at the end of last year, which was really cool. Adam Thielen's always been one of the favorites of mine. Just you gotta love white rod receivers as a white dude. But anyway, the Carolina Panthers are a little interesting, but not crazy interesting. Do you have any thoughts on them? Do you think they could be frisky?
Yeah, I mean, I think I mean I've heard a lot of people say that they think this is going to be like the most improved team. Um,
Well, look,
do I?
there's always one team, right? Or at least one or two teams that jump from no expectations to up there. Do we think this could be one of those teams?
Define up there?
Uh, 9 or 10 games, chance to make the 7th seed in the playoffs, and make a
No,
real run at it after winning 4 games last year.
no, but I don't think there's any reason why they shouldn't be better, especially with, like you said, Bryce Young looked way better at the end of last year and still was running for his life. Adam Thielen became a security blanket for him a little bit once he got healthy. I think there's a couple pieces there, and like you said, they went and tried to make the offensive line a little bit better. Do I think they're going to be head and shoulders better than last year? No, but I mean, I think they win 2, 3 more games than they did. I don't see why not, especially with the Saints being worse than they were last year. Who knows what the Falcons are? We'll get to there, but so I think there's potential.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
They're
There's no reason why they shouldn't be better. I should
yeah.
say that.
So I said they won 4 games last year. That was a lie. They won 5 games last year. That was a mistake on my part. Their over under this year is 6.5. The over is juiced a little bit at -135. So maybe some people thinking there's a little chance that they could win 7, 8 games this year. But yeah, I mean, look, I think their ceiling probably is that 8 win range, maybe 9 if you get really, really lucky and Bryce Young has a really good year. But we have a health factor to deal with Bryce Young as well. They have Chuba
That's
Hubbard.
bold.
They have Rico Dowdle, who rushed for over 1,000 yards at the Cowboys last year, but that was kind of just out of necessity because he was the only running back on the Cowboys last year. Panthers win 10 games. Yeah, that is very bold, Joe Radke. I do like it though because
I mean, if anybody's gonna do like, if you have a division to do it in, this is it.
Exactly. You're going to be playing all these teams. We'll move forward now to the second best odds in the division. That is the Atlanta Falcons. Their over under for wins is 7.5. Vegas a little bit more bullish on them. They are plus 230 something to win the division. Sorry, plus 240 to win this division. Michael Penix going to get his first crack at being the opening day starter, and hopefully, for his sake, having the starting job all year. Kyle Pitts, another year in, he's been disappointing thus far in his career. Drake London, with Michael Penix last year, was one of the best receivers in the league fantasy-wise. Look for him to have a big year this year. Michael Penix slings the ball. Darnell Mooney is hurt as of right now. He's not significantly hurt, but he may miss 1 or 2 weeks going into the season. So once again, in the fantasy land, their number 3 is a guy named Ray McLeod, who kind of flashed last year as like a but anyway, he's going to be a guy that maybe you want to take in fantasy if Darnell Mooney's going to miss some time. Their depth at receiver is not very good, so they're going to have to throw the ball somewhere. So yeah, and Bijan Robinson, we know what he can do. Absolute stud running back. Kind of got off to a quiet start, and he splits a lot more carries with Tyler Algier than you'd want for a starting running back. But he was unbelievably productive last year as running back. He's going in the top 3 or 4 of most of the fantasy drafts that I've seen so far this year. Defense, once again, question mark with them. But I do like having one more year under head coach Raheem Morris, who's a defensive guy. And I like the potential of Penix slinging the ball there. I don't really know what's going on with Kirk Cousins behind the scenes. Maybe that's a distraction. I don't really know. I like the I know a lot of people were on the Falcons hype, like the Falcons bandwagon last year. I think I'm going to be a year late on it. I think I like them a little bit more this year than some other people do. I think 7.5 wins too low for them, especially in this terrible division. I think they could easily win 9 games, and even make a push for the division. But I'm a little bit more bullish on the Bucks. What do you think?
I agree. I think that's way low. I think they're definitely going to get over that. I think it's kind of almost a guarantee if I'm going to put money on.
Ooh, we got a lock
on it. I think
that's
going to be my lock. I like them. I like them no matter who starts at quarterback because I like Penix and I think Kirk Cousins coming back another year removed from his Achilles injury. I don't think there's any reason why he's not going to get better. And I mean, there's no way he can be as bad as he was last year. So regardless, no matter who plays quarterback for this team, I think they're going to be fine. I know Michael Penix is named the starter right now. Michael Penis Jr. as their local radio or TV station put up on there.
Don't you like if you work for the local Falcons station? Don't you think the number one thing when you draft Penix Jr. is don't write penis on the screen? Just don't write penis. Like just make sure you don't write penis. If you do, you're fired. Right? Like,
take that out of the autocorrect. Like it needs to be forever out of the autocorrect because I can see how it happens. I can see how that gets autocorrected because it does, I think, on most phones.
Yeah.
But if you're a news station, that's got to be the first thing you check every time.
I didn't know Darnell Mooney was a Razorback. That's money with 2 O's. That's what they called him in Chicagoland. That guy's super underrated. I actually really like him despite the fact that he's injured going into
this season. He's a spark plug.
He's a good player. And just don't talk if you're drafting, don't talk yourself into Kyle Pitts. The guy's never going to be good at football. I know he's only like 23, but he's just not, I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah, I'm not going to say he's never going to be good at football just because.
Yeah, maybe you're right about that. But
well, yeah, but has he been like the top 3 tight end every year that everyone thought he was going to be when he got drafted? Obviously not, right?
When you take a tight end at number 4 overall, you expect a lot more production than he's given. That's for sure. I mean, his first couple of years, he was being outpaced by Austin Hooper. So,
yep. So, but yeah, the defense is another question mark. I don't know a ton about their defense, honestly. But their offense, I mean, it's going to all run through Bijan. It has to. And they've got some guys on the outside. We saw some flashes out of Michael Penix last year. So I think they're slotted right where they should be. I think they should be second. I think they do win more games than what their over-under win total is. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
They're like a post-hype sleeper. Last year, they were kind of hyped up. They had a disappointing season. Now people are a little bit more down on them because last season was not as good. These are the teams that I like to get in on because I feel like second year as a head coach, second year as a quarterback, you start to see a little bit of a leap sometimes with these kind of guys. So we'll see how the Falcons can fare. The last team we will talk about today is the odds-on favorite to win this division. And I think the best team we've talked about thus far of the 8 teams we talked about, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They lose their offensive coordinator in very unceremonious fashion, which we completely forgot about because this offseason's been so wild. But the way he left Tampa to go to Jacksonville was such a weird, really, really weird little blip on the radar that I completely forgot about until I started doing research for this. But they bring back pretty much all of their guys on offense. Mike Evans coming back healthy. Chris Godwin going to miss. It seems like the first 6 weeks. I think he's going to be put on that PUP list, but he should be coming back. They also drafted Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State, who is an excellent route runner and will get a lot of action early in the season because their projected number 2 receiver, Jalen McMillan, who I was really high on last year as a rookie, came down weird on his neck and has been seen with a neck brace. He's supposed to miss the first couple weeks of the year. Jalen McMillions, he's a guy that I've taken a lot in fantasy. That's unfortunate for me, but it opens up the door for Egbuka to get a lot more snaps early on. I also really like Cade Otton, who when he was healthy last year was a really good tight end for them. I think he's got a little bit of fantasy value as well. But Bucky Irving was the standout last year for this offense, rookie out of Oregon, who came in as a fourth rounder, took the job from Rashad White early in the season and ran with it. That guy was a complete stud.
Screwed my fantasy team.
He had a great year last year. And Baker threw for over 4,000 yards last year. I think threw close to 40 touchdowns last year. Was one of the
I think it was his best year of his career
last year. It was the best year of his career by a lot. He's going into his age 30 season. He had 41 touchdowns and 16 picks last year. That's 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns. That's really good. Once again, the argument against this team is they lose the offensive coordinator. They lose that continuity on offense. But you got Mike Evans still. You got Chris Godwin coming back. You got a rookie first rounder who I think is really good. I think they've got a lot of depth on offense. I know Tristan Wirfs is supposed to miss the first couple games of the season with a little nagging injury that he has, but I'm not worried about that long term. Their defense, it seems like the trend of the day, their defense is a little bit of a question mark. But we'll see. I mean, some of these defenses are going to be good. And once again, they're playing against a couple of the worst teams in the league in this division. So we'll see. We'll see how they go. I really, really like this team. Their over/under is 9.5. I think they shatter it. I think they win 11 or 12 games this year. I'm in on the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm in on Bucky Irvin. I do think that their defense is pretty good. And honestly, yeah, I mean, is Levante David still there? I mean,
old man.
He is an old man, but he's the leader of that defense. And that and Vita Vea is still there. Like, as long as guys are staying healthy, like that defense is tough. But again, it all depends on if they're going to stay healthy. And who's the safety there? Why am I blanking on their safety?
Antoine Winfield Jr.
Yeah. So they've got pieces. They're all getting old. It's kind of like when the Ravens were getting old at the end of their career, but I think they're smart enough. I think they're good enough defensively, or they're smart enough defensively to get even some of the young guys, a lot of the young guys around them, and get them in the right position and everything like that. So, and I think they played pretty well defensively last year, if I remember correctly. Even with Vita Vea missing some games, and Levante David started pretty slow, and he might even have been hurt. So I just think they're the most complete team in the division, all the way around. I just don't think there's any way that they don't win that division. Do I think Baker has the same year this year? Possibly. Would I be surprised if not? I mean, it's hard to, coming off the best year of your career, it's hard to replicate that at times, but he's got pieces, man. And he seems to like it there. So, yeah, I'm with you. I don't think there's any reason why they shouldn't win this division again.
I believe it's a contract year too for Baker Mayfield, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about this, but I think
he had another year too.
Maybe he does. Let me look at the split track right now, real quick. But yeah, he's in his age 30 season. This is, for quarterbacks, this is the prime of the career. Yeah, you're right. He does have one more year after this one. He will earn $2 million base this year with a $10 million roster bonus. And his next season, he will earn a $40 million base.
Yeah, because I thought he signed like an extension 2 years ago or something like that.
He did, yeah. It was a 3-year deal. So this year, most of the money is pushed to next year. They do not have an out at all.
And don't forget, their GM is pretty good at salary cap gymnastics as well. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, I like the offensive line. Ben Bredesen, former Ravens great, out of, I believe, Michigan. Graham Barton at center. Cody Moak out of North Dakota State. Absolutely love that guy at right guard. Luke Gedeke, I can't never been able to pronounce that guy's name, is a decent right tackle. And Tristan Wirfs is a great left tackle. So yeah, I like their offensive line. I like their guys. I love their offensive weapons. I love that they signed Teddy Bridgewater to be their third-string quarterback, maybe their second-string quarterback, because Kyle Trask.
He's got to be second, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Kyle Trask is Florida great, but he's ass. This team's 30-1 to win the Super Bowl. Do we have any thoughts on that? They're 15-1 to win the NFC. I don't really think I'm going to bet either of them, but I think 15-1 to win the NFC is a little interesting. I mean, at least I feel like they're almost certainly going to be in the playoffs. So getting them at 15-1 to win the conference just feels like, once you get to the playoffs, you can cash that bet out if you want to. And if the Eagles have a couple injuries, maybe the NFC will be a little bit more wide open. We haven't done our NFC East preview yet. I am fully expecting the Eagles to dominate the NFC because they have the best team. But once again, they were extremely healthy last year, and the history of the league says that doesn't usually happen all that often. So we'll see. I don't know. If I had to make a pick right now, I'd take Tampa. I think Atlanta is certainly frisky in this division at plus 240. I don't hate that bet at all. I don't know the Panthers at plus 425. That feels right for them. I think that's kind of a long shot that they win, and the Saints are nothing. They're no factor for me. So yeah, I think that's a good little preview for those couple divisions. I know we did probably the most boring divisions we possibly could have today, but still, it's exciting to talk about football again.
2 weeks away.
The Orioles are underperforming. So 2 weeks from Thursday, I believe, is game one. So yeah,
2 weeks.
2 weeks from Thursday.
2 weeks. The Orioles are playing good baseball at the moment. I know they've underperformed for the season, but it's a fun time in sports at the moment. What did we miss today? One thing I wanted to bring up that I had no idea about. I don't know if you know this or not. I saw on Twitter this week a picture of Shaq and Sean Bradley. Did you know anything that has happened with Sean Bradley?
I haven't seen Sean Bradley since Space Jam.
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair. He
oh God, that always happens to the tall guys, doesn't it?
Well, no, he got hit by a car. Like, I had to look this up. I was like, why? What is wrong? I was like, what is wrong with Sean Bradley? He got hit. So he's riding his bike, got hit by a car in 2021 and is paralyzed from like the chest down.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Had no idea.
Oh, I'm looking at this picture with him and Shaq now. Oh man.
Yeah, that was like this week. I know.
That sucks. I wonder when it happened.
2021.
Wow.
Didn't hear about it. I don't know if it made it onto the news or not, but or I wasn't paying attention. But like that picture you're probably looking at, I saw that this week at wherever they were at. And I was like, what the hell is going on with Sean Bradley? And then I looked it up and it's sad.
That is sad.
It sucks. Because I saw some people make a couple jokes before I looked it up, and they were like, "Oh, the Monstars actually did take his powers and all that stuff."
Oh my God!
And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of funny. Like if he got like ankle surgery or something like that." And then I looked it up, and I was like, "Shit, man, I had no idea about that."
There's some nice little Indiana news that just came out. Rick Carlisle has agreed to a multi-year extension with the Pacers. That's good news for Indiana Pacers fans because that is one of the best coaches in the history of the NBA. Very big fan of that guy. It's going to be a little bit of a down year for the Pacers, missing their best player, and they lost Miles Turner to free agency. But a great team nonetheless, and a great coach. So that's really cool. I also saw that Trump National Doral is going to be back on the PGA Tour schedule. Doral has been off of the Florida swing for quite a few years with all the backlash, and we're not going to get into the reasons why, but Doral is one of the most historic golf courses on the PGA Tour that they've played for a really long time. So that's an interesting little thing I saw. And then the number one overall running back prospect in next year's draft class has committed to Michigan. His name is Savion, Hiter. Hitter. Apparently 6 foot, 200-pound running back from Virginia is going to be the number one prospect running back, and he is going to Michigan to follow in the footsteps of Mike Hart and Blake Corum, and probably a lot of other guys that I didn't name. Mike Hart. That's a throw.
Yeah. Another thing that popped up on our timeline here right before we went live. Frank the Tank going to be the guest splasher and throwing out the first pitch is not going to be well received in Baltimore.
I don't know. It might. There's a lot of Barstool guys in Baltimore. That guy's a clown.
I agree, but do you see all the shit he's talking on Cedric Mullins as somebody who is a fan favorite?
Have you seen him do anything? He talks shit on everyone. He'll talk shit on Darryl Strawberry and Keith Hernandez and Mike Piazza.
Fair. Fair. I'm interested to see how that goes. I don't understand that one. That's one that that's a head scratcher to me. And then the other thing we'd mentioned at the beginning of the show, Zach Pick Down Sports got a nice little follow from Simply AJ. Adam Jones, that's a big deal.
Simply AJ the 10th.
Simply AJ the 10th.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all the sports stuff we need to go over. I think as we have been doing for the past couple of weeks, we should finish this podcast with an immaculate grid. Would you like me to pull that up for you?
Mm-hmm.
So we will finish this one with an immaculate grid. And I just looked at it, and there might be an Oriole bird on there today. There's a little bit of an Oriole bird on there today. I like that. I like the little Oriole bird.
Been a while.
Orioles, Yankees. First one that comes to mind is Mike Messina. Next one that comes to mind is Steve Pearce. Next one that comes to mind is Brian Roberts.
Yeah, Brian Roberts was mine.
Steve Pearce played for every single team in the AL East. So if you ever have a immaculate grid question, there's 2 AL East teams, just put Steve Pearce. He also played for the Pirates. New York
came up with the Pirates.
Interesting.
Did Larry Bigby play for New York as well?
Ooh.
I think he went there afterwards. Or Nolan Ryan.
We could definitely come up
Marty Cordova.
He played for the Yankees?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, we're going with him then. We're just going to rip it right off the bat. Marty Cordova did not play for the Yankees, and we lose already. Oh, no, Brooks. What the hell?
I could have swore.
Was he just? He said 100%. He said 100%. Oh man, this okay. We're gonna go Yankees Phils here. I know he played for the Twins. That's the only team besides the Orioles.
The Indians, the Twins.
I wonder if there's a way we could just start over. Can I like?
I can do it. I can just do it from mine. I'll just do it from mine.
Yeah, you do it from yours. You do it from yours.
But I want to look up where Marty Cordova. What? Toronto and Cleveland. All right. Damn it. Son of a bitch.
It's okay. It's okay, buddy. It happens. It happens.
I would have put a lot of money on that.
All right. Let's Brooksy, you pull it up. So I didn't look at the rest of the grid, but I saw actually you'll have to pull it back up. Here we go. Okay. Yankees, Dodgers. I think Joey Gallo. So Mets, Phillies. I think Didi Gregorius will be the number one answer there. So I want to avoid him at all costs. I think Raul Ibanez might work there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bobby Abreu might work there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to hold on and wait a little bit. 10 win season is nice because I think there's a lot of under the radar guys that probably got to 10 wins. Chris Tillman, Wei and Chen come to mind. Jason Hamill might have gotten to 10 wins with us.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you know it's a really good one? Put in fucking Mike Baumann for 10 wins Orioles season.
You know what's a really good one for here? David Wells.
Exactly. David Wells pitched for the Orioles?
Mm-hmm. That's another 100%er.
Yeah, that's 100%er, all right. Mike Baumann went 10-1 2 years ago with the Orioles. I know that for a fact. And then he got DFA'd. As a reliever. 0.1, baby. Let's go. Nobody took Mike Baumann. Calvin. We're not taking Calvin. That's too much. We could take Jim Tomei there. We got to take some guys that are not thought of as Orioles, maybe. I don't know if Sammy Sosa got to 2,000.
Tejada, Sosa, Vladimir Guerrero.
Eric Davis probably works there. Oh, no, he's career shortened by injury, though. 2,000 hits. No. Robbie Alomar, Rafael Palmeiro, Eddie Murray. Markakis has 2,500 hits.
Yeah.
Frank. Who played with
Lots
us
of
just
them.
for a short amount of
All
time?
right, I'm doing David
Nelson
Wells on
Cruz.
this one. Doing David
Okay.
Wells. Ooh, another good one. Reggie Jackson.
That is a good one.
Before I put this in.
Zach Britton, Reggie Jackson, Steve Pierce.
What do you want? You don't feel very. You don't seem very sold.
I don't
on
know
David
that.
Wells.
I don't know about David Wells pitched for the Orioles. I don't see. I didn't know David Wells pitched for the Orioles until you just said that. I didn't know it. I was unaware. Yankees, Phillies, also AJ Burnett.
Yeah. Jamie. No, not Jamie Moyer.
Chris Savo. Give me a break, dude.
He's always with Chris Savo.
I know. Let's do the Orioles first. Who's the 2,000 hits? So we can pick from a plethora of guys.
So many.
Markakis is probably going to be up there. Frank Robinson, like people just forget about him. Brooks Robinson's probably on here too.
I don't.
Book Powell might be on here.
Yeah, I don't know if they had 2,000 hits or not.
Well, look, just based on the fact that Brooks Robinson won like 18 straight Gold Gloves, I'm just assuming he played enough to get 2,000 hits. He wasn't the world's best hitter, but he also was pretty good. He's a Hall of Famer. I mean, I'm even thinking like, did Justin Turner have 2,000 hits? He played for the Orioles. I know Steve Finley had 300 homers and stolen bases, and he played a long time. I think he could have gotten there. I know Alomar got there, but we don't like him very much anymore. He's not a bad guy. He's not a great guy. Vladimir Guerrero.
That's kind of was my first pick. People forget that he played for the Orioles, so I think that might be a good one.
Yeah, let's take Vladdy.
He had to have 2,000 hits, right?
Senior, yes. Yeah. 2%. I like it. There we go. I think Philly's 2,000 career hits. We just put Bobby Abreu. I know he did it, and I don't think a lot of people are going to think that.
100%.
Yeah. Phillies, Yankees. So we have AJ Burnett. We have Raul Ibanez. We're pretty sure on those. I'm not 100% sure on those. Yeah. I know Didi Gregorius, but once again, I think he's going to be the most popular. Didn't Jay Bruce have a little Yankee stint? He might have been on both of these.
Victorino
played for the Red Sox. I don't think he played for the Yankees.
Oh yeah, I think I'm confusing.
I want to. The New York LA one is like shockingly weird.
I feel like Sean Green played for both of them. I feel like, but I'm not 100% sure.
Toronto
in LA.
I know he played for LA. I don't know if he played for New York.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll let that go.
It's LA.
Maury Wells. He's a stolen base guy.
Yeah, but he might have gotten there. I don't know how long he played. 10 wins for the Dodgers. Chad Billingsley, Hideo Nomo. Did Hideo Nomo play for Yankees in the Dodgers?
I don't know about the Yankees.
Matsui had a weird stop at the end of his career, but I think that might have been Tampa, not LA. Philly 10-win season. Philly 10-win season. I want to say Joe Blanton, but I don't know if he won 10 games with him.
He probably did. I bet you he did because I remember him. I remember him racking up so many wins and having like the worst ERA.
I don't know. I'm not confident in it, but that's a very good answer because
I know.
I don't think a lot of people.
I think you're right, but I'm not confident enough to put it. But I think you're right. Philly and the Yankees. Let's just do.
Lofton? That's what Dad says.
For who? Phillies and
Yankees. I don't remember.
I don't remember him playing for either of them.
Yeah.
Let's do Raul Ibanez.
We're sure he played for the Phillies, right?
Who?
Raul
Ibanez?
Ibanez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. Okay, I like that. All right, Raul Ibanez is in. Why is Yankees in LA so seemingly difficult?
That should be an easier one, I feel like.
I mean, I know Joey Gallo played for both of those teams, but I don't. I want to think of somebody less recent.
Did
Okay, so 2000 hits LA. I'm going to say Duke Snyder. I know that for sure. I would assume Pee Wee Reese has that. I would assume Jackie Robinson has 2000 hits. But also he came into the league a little bit later, so maybe not shorter career. Matt Kemp came to mind. I don't know how many hits he ended up getting, but he played for a while, played for a lot of teams. Freddie Freeman's certainly there. Mookie might not be there yet.
Dodger is Demper. Did he play
Dempsey?
for the Yankees too? Did he play for the Yankees? I know he played for the Dodgers.
I have no idea. I don't know. If he's correct, I don't want to look it up, but if he definitely played for both of those teams, I'm down for that. Pitchers: Koufax, Kershaw, Chad Billingsley probably did it. I don't know why I keep saying him. Walker Buehler definitely did it. Stop thinking of recently. Who was good pitchers for the Dodgers when you were growing up? Who was a good pitcher for the Dodgers when you were growing up?
Who was the guy that pitched with Koufax that I'm blanking on?
Drysdale.
It was Drysdale.
Just go with him. Not a lot of people are going to guess him, I don't think. It's going to be Koufax and Kershaw all over the place. Oh, 4%. I like it. Billy Tons. I want to get gross. I want to get gross with one of these guesses, like Jeremy Hellickson.
Tom Seaver.
Billy's 10 wins. I mean, Joe Blanton's is probably
Jamie Moyer.
Jamie Moyer. I don't know if he had 10 wins with them.
Well, I don't know if it was with them, but he definitely had it.
Yeah, but for those categories, you have to do it with the team.
Are you sure?
When it's a stat, if you click on the stat, it'll tell you if it's paired with another stat, then it doesn't matter. But if it's paired with a team, you have to do it in the same season with that team.
Okay. I mean, the Cole Hamels is going to be way up there. Roy Halladay is going to be way up there.
It's got to be a random reliever over the course of the last few years that played for both the Dodgers and the Yankees. Cody Bellinger. He played for both of those teams.
Yeah, it's too recent.
Yeah, he's going to be.
Oh, Willie Randolph? Dad's been right on most of this stuff.
All right, let's do Willie Randolph because that sounds right. I love it, Dad. Let's go.
I didn't know he played for LA. I only know Willie Randolph as a Yankee, really.
Yeah, I think he made his hay there. Piazza probably has 2,000 hits. He played for the Dodgers. Not a lot of people maybe remember that. Machado had 2,000 hits.
I still think Maury Wells. Yeah, I think he does.
I think Machado got 2,000 hits.
I think he just got 2,000 hits. Yeah, but I mean that might be too recent. Or did we think people forgot he played for LA for like a quarter of a year?
Yeah, I don't know. Who else played for the Dodgers? All right, Billy's 10 wins. Joe Blanton's the only guy I can think of just because I'm old.
That's the one I think that's
going to bother.
That's the one I think that it's going to bother us because I think that's right, but I'm hesitant to put it.
What, the Joe Blanton one?
Yeah, because I think that's going to be like that's going to be the one. That's going to be like the rarest one. I feel like, because I am.
I mean, there's definitely some weird reliever. Like we picked Mike Bauman for the Orioles. There's some weird reliever that's going to be like 0.1.
Vulturin.
I'm trying to think of the other guy. Roy Oswalt might have done it with them. People wouldn't think about him, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Roy Halladay
That's a good
definitely
one.
did. Cliff Lee, Cole Hamels definitely did. I mean, what's his name? Lefty. Best pitcher in the history of their team. Steve Carlton. He definitely did it. Jake Arrieta played for the Phillies. He sucked for them, though. Zach Eflin, he pitched for the Phillies.
Oh,
he was bad for them, too.
All right, let's go with.
I like
Who is? So do I, man. Let's just do it. If we don't get it, whatever. We have so many
off, dude.
What?
Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Joe Blanton, baby. Let's go, Joe Blanton. 2%.
I was pretty positive that was right.
I'm gonna look at his page now just so we can. I want to know how many wins he might have had. Like exactly 10 wins one year. He had a 12-win season with. He had 12 and 8 season with them. He had a 9-win season, and then he had a 10-win season between Philly and LA.
Yeah, because I remember him
16 and 12 with a 4.8 ERA with the Oakland Athletics one time.
See, I remember him having like a high ERA, but like a ton of wins.
Yeah.
Honestly, all right, last one.
Not
2,000 hits for LA.
Not a very good player.
Dad likes Willie Davis. Eric Milton.
Dusty Baker? He has 2,000 hits?
Dad likes Willie Davis and Dusty Baker. Does Morty Wells have more than 2,000 hits? That's a question.
I don't know. How long did he play? Look up his name. No. 13 years? That's 200 hits a year. There's no way.
Did anybody have like a quick stint? Did Kirk Gibson have 2,000 hits? I feel like he did.
I don't know. I don't know for sure.
But he's a pretty famous Dodger, so I bet a lot of people pick him.
Number one is probably going to be Freddie. I bet a lot of people are going to take Jackie Robinson, even though I don't know how long. I think Duke Snider is a good answer here because I don't think a lot of people would take him, but because he's way old. But I don't really know. I'm trying to think of somebody else who's like a little Eddie Murray. Let's do Eddie Murray.
Oh yeah. People forget that he played for them.
Mm-hmm. What was it? X out. 4%. I love it. That's a good score. 24.
24 rarity.
Yeah,
that's
a good one.
Way better. I think our best
podcast so far.
Our best one before that was like 71. I think.
Yeah. Hell yeah. We got a couple Orioles legends on there. We got the big Vladdy Daddy. What's the show the summer? Yeah. Go to the other guys.
Rarest one was Philly 2,000 hits. Or no, Orioles 2,000 hits.
Yeah, let's go there.
Bobby Grich was probably a good one.
See, this is the one that it doesn't tell you the teams. It just tells you the.
Come on.
If you scroll over, it'll show you the teams. But
where over here?
Yeah.
Eddie Murray, Merkin, Palmeiro,
Frank. It's easy because it'll be the first one. Harold Baines.
Oh, that was
Harold Baines would have been a good one. Brooks did for sure. Yeah.
Alomar.
Robbie Alomar.
Louis Aparicio. That would have been a good one.
Wow. God. I always forget about that guy.
I know.
Tim Raines Sr. No way. Good for him.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
another Orioles
Reggie.
senior that played center field. I have Gary Matthews Jr. as my moniker today. Steve Finley, I said.
Finley.
George Van Hultren. Ever heard of that guy? He was on the Orioles. Or he probably was on the St. Louis Browns. He was just
George Dwight Evans. I have no idea who that is.
Sammy Sosa. Dwight Evans is a right fielder for the Red Sox. They called him Dewey. He played for the Orioles? I didn't know that.
Who?
Dwight Evans. BJ Surhoff? How many hits is that? Go over. How many hits does BJ Surhoff have?
2,300.
Holy shit, 26. BJ Surhoff. Good for you, man. I would have never guessed that. I don't see any more Baltimores. Will Clark.
I always forget about Will.
There's Pee Wee Reese. I called him for the Dodgers. Only 180 guys in the history of baseball, so not a lot of answers, honestly.
Most popular, Freddie, you're right. Cody, we thought that. Didi, we thought. Musina, Ripken.
Palmer.
Hmm.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Let's check out football real quick, and then we'll finish the pod. Dewey Evans. Not a Hall of Famer, but a really, really good player. Very super underrated. Terrell Suggs, top left. Give me it.
Yeah. Wow. I thought it'd be more than that.
Give me that.
Holy shit. I thought there'd be way more than that.
Oh, man.
Trent Green?
Yeah. I don't like that we both thought of it right away, but it's got to be. Yeah. Okay. There we go. That's good. McNair. Oh, there's a college on here. What the fuck?
CJ2K?
Yeah. For sure. From?
12, right? 12 or 17? Which one?
Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm almost certain 12, it's right? The top one. It's the top one.
You think so?
No.
All right.
Yeah. Sam Bradford, right. 10,000 career passing yards, OU.
It's got to be one of the most. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could have done Kyler or Baker. Tennessee Titans, 10,000 passing yards. Let's say, well, does Warren Moon count as a Titan? He's an Oiler. Steve McNair. Vince Young, maybe. I don't think so. Kerry Collins played for the Titans.
Yes, he did. I think that's one that'll be good. Yep.
8%. That's a good one. Football is so hard. So much harder than baseball. Because there's just so many. I guess I was going to say there's so many less players. There's probably more.
Did Dempsey play? Look up to see if Dempsey played for the Yankees.
Rick Dempsey.
I feel like he might have had got traded there or something.
Former World Series MVP Rick Dempsey played for the Yankees and the Dodgers. That's correct. Played for three and a half seasons with the Yankees and was traded to Baltimore in 1976. He played with the Dodgers at the end of his career. Huh.
I feel like he was he in? I thought he was in Milwaukee too.
He played 4 years in Minnesota, 3 and a half years in New York, and then a bunch in Baltimore. And then he went to Cleveland, LA, Milwaukee for 1 year at age 41. Played 60 games. And then he came back to the O's and played 8 games in his age 42 season. Why OU for the Cardinals is weird. Oh, I mean Kyler, but that's going to be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Brown.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're going to do Marquise, aren't they?
Bob Holly.
God damn it. Marquise.
Like
9%'s not bad.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, KC Tampa is a weird one.
Gerald McCoy, OU in the Bucks. I didn't know you went to OU.
Yeah, he did. I like that. Yes, he did. We learned that the other day in the when we were talking about the Ndamukong Suh. That's a great answer. Bucks Titans. I feel like Kenny Britt played for the Bucks. I don't know for sure though. Bucks Titans. This might be the best football one I've ever done. Sam Bradford killed us. It's my fault. I get into these I get locked out of these sometimes. I can't fucking think. There's got to be a backup quarterback played for both of these teams, like Josh Freeman. Chris Sims. He played for one of these other teams. Just trying to think of Bucks quarterbacks. Warwick Dunn play for either of those two teams. Did Keyshawn? He didn't. Mike Evans is a lifer.
Cadillac Williams. McCoy.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be the number one. He played for both of those teams on the top. Take him. Take him. Brandy's doing it for us. Shady. Damn, 45%. All right, let's try to get a perfect one. Who we got? Bucks Titans. I'm just going to start naming all the Titans I know. Eddie George, Steve McNair, Kenny Britt, Kendall Wright. That's not all the ones I know. Jake Locker, RIP. Vince Young. Delaney Walker. Bernard Pollard.
Ryan Jensen.
Ryan Jensen played. I know he played for the Bucks.
Yeah, I don't think he played for Tennessee.
Tennessee's such a random team. Why does it have to be them?
Can we get the Oilers out of this? Yeah, we can use the Oilers, it says.
Oh, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, that's a good one. That's going to be the highest one.
Yeah.
But that might be all we got.
Yeah.
Just go for it. Yeah, fuck it. We won. 182. We got the high. What's this? What are the highest answers? Go to the summary. Tannehill, D-Hop, Tyrann Mathieu. Okay. I like there's only 5.
Who's our best pick? Best pick was Terrell Suggs. There's only 5 OU.
Only 5 OU guys.
Troy Aikman.
I mean, we were screwed either way. I could have named all of those guys. But, I mean, anyway, you slice it, you're probably going to get at least 10%. I guess St. Bradford was probably the worst one we could have taken, but I didn't realize. I figured Baker and Kyler would be more popular. But I guess they go into the other two categories probably. That's why they're not.
Sterling Shepard.
Oh, my God. Wait, is this Titans?
Corey Ivy. Corey Ivy. This is OU Bucks.
Can you go Titans Bucks? Because that was the one that we were struggling with. Oh, Julio. Fuck. Blaine Gabbert. Chris Sims, I mentioned.
Yeah, I didn't realize he played for Tennessee.
Lorenzo Neal, former Chargers great.
Play for the Ravens too.
I know.
Blaine Gabbert.
Adam Humphries. He was a white receiver.
Chris Chandler.
Chris
Not
Chandler.
that Chris Chandler. Different
I think
Chris
of Chris
Chandler.
Chandler as a quarterback for the Falcons in NFL Blitz 2000. Anyway, all right, guys, we've been going for 2 hours 10 minutes. I don't know what happened to Brian today. I hope he's all right. But we'll hopefully have him back on Thursday. Thursday, by the way, is my birthday.
So could get wild, could get crazy.
We'll see how that goes. I'm either going to be super hungover or getting super drunk on that pod. Who knows what's going to go on?
And also, we have Timmy Mesa coming to town next week, a week from today.
Yeah.
A week from today, Timmy Mesa will be in Indianapolis,
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to get him live in person. I know we're going to be hanging out with him a lot and going to probably a couple games to go see some of his rehab outings. So, but yeah, got some cool stuff coming. Wednesday, what do you want to do for your birthday? Birthday pod.
I don't care. You can do whatever. This is what I've been saying forever, by the way. This is what it could be. If we were
comedian
smart,
Jamie Kennedy.
If we were smart, I don't know who this guy is, honestly, but I just pulled it up Twitter and this is the first thing I saw, and I think it's awesome, and it would be fucking sick to watch. But anyway, we're going to end the podcast now. Happy effing Tuesday to y'all. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you on Thursday on my day of birth, and we're gonna be having some fun. So. Later, nerds. And shout out to Quaxon Holiday. Thank you for joining us on the show, Mr. Quaxon. And shout out to Roger McNugs. He didn't get any love until the 2 hour and 12-minute mark of this pod.
Quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth.
But anyway,
still looking for 2,000, guys. Still looking for 2,000.
How close are we?
I don't know.
Close-ish.
All right. A few.
Thank you very much once again for listening, and we'll see you later, guys.